Every time you eat, your body needs a signal before it can digest properly. Not food, a signal. And for most of human history, that signal came from one specific flavour that's almost completely vanished from the modern diet. Without it, food still goes in, but the body was never fully prepared to handle it. So today I'm walking you through digestive bitters, what they are, why they work, and exactly how to use them and why something this simple can make a noticeable difference to bloating, reflux, sluggish digestion, sugar cravings, and even energy levels after meals. I've used bitters consistently in my clinical work with clients dealing with IBS, Crohn's-related discomfort, reflux, and poor appetite regulation. And what I see repeated over and over is that when bitters are introduced properly and consistently, then digestion often starts improving faster than people expect. And by the end of this video, you will know why, and you'll know exactly how to start. And if you want personalised support applying this to your specific digestive situation, then I've got something for that too. Before I get into how to use them, there's one thing that changes how you think about your digestion entirely. Most people assume that digestion is something that happens automatically once food hits the stomach, but digestion is actually a process that has to be triggered before food arrives. That one idea is the reason so many people are doing everything right, but they're still feeling off after every meal. Now, I'm going to keep this explanation really simple. When we taste bitterness, the body immediately starts responding. Saliva increases, digestive secretions begin activating, and hydrochloric acid, bile flow, digestive enzymes. Then the body appears to move into a state of digestive readiness. Now, whether this happens primarily through vagal stimulation, there's a lot of argument still about how that works, but ultimately it doesn't matter. The end result, what matters most clinically, is that the body starts preparing itself properly for food. Without that stimulation, digestion can begin weakly or inefficiently. So food still enters the digestive tract, but your body may not be fully prepared to break it down, to absorb nutrients properly and coordinate digestion effectively. This is where bitters become increasingly interesting because their effects may go well beyond digestion alone. Many people notice reduced cravings, improved appetite regulation, feeling more satisfied after meals, and more stable energy levels when the bitters are used consistently. They don't have the constant ups and downs. I've had clients report less bloating, decrease in reflux, improved bowel regularity, reduced sugar cravings, and yes, that improved glucose readings. Also weight loss, especially around the waist, and just an overall improvement in well-being. One client, she was actually a nutritionist, and she said to me that she already considered herself healthy, but still felt noticeably better once she introduced digestive bitters regularly. So now let's talk about something really important. How do you actually use digestive bitters properly? Because this is where many people get confused. The first thing to understand is that bitters work through taste, not quantity. You don't need large amounts. In fact, traditionally, bitters are taken in very small doses. Sometimes as little as half a ml is enough to trigger the digestive response. So the goal is not to flood the body with herbs. The goal is to stimulate the bitter receptors on your tongue. And that bitter taste is the signal that I was talking about. Ideally, bitters can be taken up to half an hour before eating, and this gives your body time to begin activating your digestive readiness before your food arrives. Interestingly, though, is that many people also experience relief taking the bitters during a meal or even after eating if they've forgotten. particularly times like in the middle of the afternoon or 1 o'clock in the morning if they wake up with symptoms of like bloating and reflux and that heaviness. Take a dose of bitters then, and then that can bring your body relief. One of the mistakes that people often make is trying to hide that bitter taste completely. So the bitter taste itself is the actual therapeutic part. So this is why swallowing capsules or taking your bitters in water, it won't create the same effect. The tongue needs to experience that bitterness. This can be immediately followed by a mouthful of food or a few mouthfuls of water, but that bitter taste is the trigger that must be experienced by the body. Now, digestive bitters can be made in several forms: alcohol-based tinctures, vinegar-based preparations, or glycerin-based bitters for children or for people who are avoiding alcohol. You know, a lot of people think that vinegar is a trigger, lemon juice is a trigger, but these are more sour flavors. So if you are infusing herbs into a vinegar, that can create a bitter-based vinegar. But again, it comes back to that bitter sensation your body must experience. You know, many foods, bitter foods, can simply be brought back into your diet naturally. So you've got different cultures around the world have traditionally done it this way. In India, they have fennel seeds taken after their meals. European cultures, traditionally they use bitter aperitifs or digestives as a cocktail after their meal. Chinese cuisine and medicines naturally include many bitter flavors as part of their daily eating. Simple bitter foods people can include more regularly include green leaves like rocket, peppercorns, orange peel, dark chocolate, but no less than 90%. And then you have bitter herbs like gotu kola, oregano, thyme, dandelion root, sage, chamomile. These herbs all have their own unique medicinal uses, but they also share one very important role, is that they stimulate digestive readiness by their bitterness. And look, bitterness didn't disappear from the diet by accident. It was processed out. It was sweetened over and replaced with flavors that never ask anything of the digestive system. And quietly, the body lost one of its most reliable preparation signals. And that is what I want you to carry from this video. Digestion is neurological before it's chemical, and the tongue needs a reason to get the body ready. It needs that bitter flavor. So if you want help in figuring out how to support your digestion beyond what a YouTube video can cover, then you can book a free mini session with me using the link in the description below. And if you do, I look forward to talking to you.